Chapter 8, Toxicology 101. Early the next morning, you, Cass, and Gabriel trod through the stillness of downtown, and the crisp autumn air isn't the only thing contributing to the chill. Thanks for coming with me to the hospital, you two. If my mom really does have evidence from this new body, I'll need all the help I can get. Sure thing, Parker. I was thinking we could use my volunteering as a cover. Say that you two are helping out for the day. So more people can think I'm hanging out with the Clement willingly? I don't think so. Hanging out with me would do you a favor. Do you have any idea what people are going to think about me being seen with you? Yeah, that you finally went through with the procedure to get the stick out of your... Oh, we don't have time for this. In a few hours, the sun's gonna come up, and my mom's gonna walk into her office looking for those results. If we haven't already been there to cover up this mess, she and I are both dead. So either get it together or I'll go alone. I can't let your fighting keep me from what's most important. The more my mom digs, the more leverage the Coven leaders have on me. And if either of you really cared about me, you'd set all this aside and help. They both glance briefly at each other before shifting their gazes away. Cass crosses her arms. Fine, I'll be on my best behavior. And I won't let Cass rile me up. And, we're both going with you. For your own safety. Cass slings her arm around your waist, pulling you tightly against her. We've got your back. If you keep clinging to her like that, it's not like she's got a choice. You feel a hint of guilt as Gabe frowns at Cass's arm around your waist. But not wanting to start a fight, you smile brightly at Cass. You have no idea how much that means to me. You look at both of them. Gabe's concern opens on his face. Cass is hidden in her gaze, and despite the circumstances, you feel strong. It's a long shot, but maybe having them spend time together like this will help them get over their differences. Stranger things have happened in this week alone. Oh, yeah, I know. I haven't even watched the new season. But the hopeful feeling begins to fade as your mind returns to the task at hand. Lewin's ultimatum was clear. Get my mom off the vampire's trail, or we both will die. And judging by the phone call I overheard last night, all she's doing is getting herself deeper into trouble. I hate that this has to come to this. But I have no choice. It's time to crash my mom's work. Or you could just come clean with her. Hey Mom, vampires exist. You hurry down the street towards the hospital. Cass and Gabe speed after you. Let's go over the plan one more time. I'll distract Lewin. Keep an eye out for your mom. Which buys me and Parker time to break into her mom's office and find the toxicology report. First, we have to see what it says. And if it's anything that might point her towards vampires, we destroy it. Won't she be suspicious if she requested it and can't find it, though? You're right. But this is a last-ditch effort. This is the best way to protect me, her, and the vampires of Crimson Beach. All that matters is the report will be gone. Cass bumps your shoulder with a lopsided grin. Look who's being all pragmatic. I like it. There's one thing we've conveniently avoided discussing, Parker. What if your mom shows up early and recognizes you? I gotta agree with Gold Boy here. Rule number one of sneaking around, always change up your look. She looks you up and down and shoots you a wing. Not that you don't already look hot, but in this case, that might work against you. You look around, noticing a nearby shop that just opened for the day, even though it's nighttime. Fine, let's see what they've got, and we've got to make it quick. The three of you head inside, splitting up to cover more ground. Hey, check this out. Cass holds up an outfit made of red and black leather, grinning smugly, but Gabe's mouth falls open. What about that reads? Suitable for sneaking around. He turns towards you, holding up a crisp turtleneck and a smart-looking blazer, but Cass gags. You'd make Parker look like an office secretary? Damn, I thought you cared about her. Hey, listen, office secretaries can be hot too, you know? In case you missed the memo, we want Parker blending into the crowd, not standing out. We don't want her to blend in so well that people start coming up to her asking about the patient's kidney scans. Look, you guys are the ones who had this idea. So either start working together, or I'm walking into the hospital like this. And I don't need anything crazy, just something that doesn't look like regular clothes. Sure, but I can't be seen with someone who looks like they eat soggy tuna sandwiches for lunch. Ew? She picks out a black denim jacket from a rack, and Gabriel lifts his eyebrows. Actually, that could work with us. He selects a gray cashmere turtleneck and distressed jeans, handing them over to you. Well, look at that. Golden Boy actually knows a good look when he sees one. What do you think, Parker? You slip into the dressing room to try out the outfit they created for you. By the disguise! Yes. Heart of Darkness. No one saw this coming. No joke, that's the literal name of it. Oh boy. Shoot a wink at the reflection in the mirror, then head back out to meet Gabe and Cass. I should take you two shopping with me more often. Yeah, you should. You look hot. You look great, Parker. Then, I think we're ready for some espionage. Let's get to the hospital. Inside the hospital lobby, the three of you share a nod. I'll get started in the distraction duty. Good luck. Save it for yourself. We won't need it. Gabe narrows his eyes, but reluctantly takes off in the direction of Lewin's office as you and Cass head toward your mom's, quickly slipping through the halls. And Lewin's not going to think anything's up. Inside, you hurriedly sit down at her computer and type in the one password you know she uses for everything. Cass watches you leaning against the wall with an amused smirk on her lips. I gotta admit, you continue to surprise me, new girl. Breaking and entering didn't take you for the type. Oh, yeah, well... You're right. This is a one-time thing. I'm still firmly in the good girl camp. I don't know about that. I think deep down there's a bad girl just waiting to get out. She moves to sit on the edge of your mom's desk as you snort out a dry laugh. It would have to be a special submarine excursion deep. I'm happy to keep digging. Honestly, I'm impressed this plan was your idea. I'm starting to think I'm rubbing off on you. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Giggity. Not saying I wouldn't. Before you can reply, your mom's inbox chimes and you switch over to her email. Oh, I think I got the toxicology report, and it looks like it's still in red. You sigh in relief as you pull open the report, but dread steals in as you wonder what you're about to find. Moment of truth, I guess. Cass has grown serious as well, leaning in to read the report. The swabs of the puncture wound my mom sent to the lab have a bizarre substance on them, one that the lab doesn't have in its database. They've surmised it might be some sort of venom, but it doesn't match up with any of the animals that live in the woods or the floral in the area. Vampires have venom. It's how we turn humans. Seriously? Does this happen every time vampires bite someone? No way. Can you imagine how many vampires would be running around because of botched feedings? There would hardly be enough food supply to go around. Hey, watch who you're calling a food supply. I wasn't talking about you, sheesh. Hey, I got a question. If vampires are so all-knowing, all-powerful, and we're gonna drain this food supply, why were you pushed always near extinction? The more you know. Anyway, the venom isn't injected automatically by biting someone. A vampire has to decide to inject a human. But why inject the venom if they were just gonna kill the human anyway? Yeah, something doesn't add up. Whatever the reason, Mom will only want to dig deeper into this mysterious substance, and if she somehow finds out it's a vampire's venom... So we get rid of the report, like you said. Just then the door to your mom's office opens. You and Cass whip your heads around, but it's just Gabe slipping inside with a grin. Why the hell are you off lookout duty? Because I'm just about to save the day. He whips out a yellow sticky note, his neat handwriting scrawled across it. I've got Lewin's login info. Mind if I take your seat, Parker? Sure. You stand, and Gabriel drops smoothly into your seat, pulling the keyboard his way. You watch in confusion as he types Lewin's credentials into the computer. Hold it, Golden Boy. You're not really doing what I think you're doing. Then you're not thinking the right thing. Gabe's tone gives nothing away. And as you watch, he navigates back to the Toxicology Report in your mom's inbox. You're totally doing it. You're gonna falsify the report. Wait, what? He tips his head back to smile up at you. With Lewin's login, I can alter the report to say that nothing was found in the samples and resend it. Then we delete the actual report and your mom will never know. I'll be damned. That's a very me thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Gabriel, you're amazing. You throw your arms around him, hugging him from behind, feeling a rush of warmth as he lets out a pleased laugh. I can't thank you enough. You just saved mine and my mom's lives. One of his hands comes up to cover yours, squeezing affectionately. I never leave you hanging. Oh, I'm sorry, but if I'd known I'd be subjugated to Vomit Fest today, I would have made an appointment for Silverbrand instead. Ignoring Cass's jab, Gabe pulls up the report, murmuring under his breath as he begins to type. I'm sorry, but it has to be done. Mr. Gabriel goes still, his eyes widening as he reads the name on the screen. Lugosi. Maxwell Lugosi. This isn't a human, it's a Clement. What? You're kidding. Cass pushes Gabriel aside to get a look at the screen, then straightens, her eyebrows raising in alarm. Damn, you're right. But he's a vampire. How'd he end up dead like all the humans? I don't know. Max was one of the Clements on patrol duty in the woods last night. Patrol duty? Since when is there a patrol duty? With all the murders, it's something the Clements have started to make sure the Venedies aren't hunting in the town's boundaries. Are you seriously blaming a Venedi for the vampire's death? No, but when you think about it, it's not like there are many options. A Clement wouldn't do this to one of their own. Says you. With how uptight you Clements are, I'm surprised someone hasn't snapped before. This wasn't a Clement's doing. Then keep your my coven's name out of your mouth. Hey. Can you stop being at each other's throats for 1 second? Someone has been killed, and we don't know if it was by someone within the coven or outside of them. But I do know that fighting amongst ourselves isn't going to get us anywhere. The tension between the two vampires holds for a moment, longer before it breaks. Gabe drops his head into his hands. Look, I don't know what to think. Only that I can hardly believe a Clement is killed just as easily as all those humans. His expression tightens and he gets to his feet. I want to see the body for myself, see if it has any clues that have been left behind. If Golden Boy goes, I'm coming too. Can't have him only looking at things that implicate Divinity's confirmation bias and all that. That's fair. 2 pairs of eyes on this may help. He looks over at you, hesitating for a moment before his resolve settles. 3 would be even better, and I know that's asking a lot of you, Parker, but I'd just rather us not split up. You think back to the bloody photograph of the first victim you saw in the very office. Stomach twisting, but you take a steady breath. Something weird is going on in these woods, and that body is the best lead so far. I want to know the truth as much as you guys, and I want to help. And who knows, there might be something more in the body than just venom that can give us a clue about the real attacker. Diamond choice, even though we already consented. Let's check this body out. Gabe nods before letting out a long breath, seeming to steel himself for what's about to come. Alright, let's finish up here and find out exactly what happened to Max. Working quickly, Gabe puts the finishing touches on the falsifying report and deletes the real copy. There, saved and marked as unread, let's head down. Moving carefully through the hospital, the 3 of you sneak down to the morgue undetected. The smell of antiseptic permeates the air, and a body lies on the examination table covered in a sheet. Okay, TV does not prepare you for this. Right, these bodies don't even have warm blood. Gabriel approaches the body, moving the sheet aside to reveal a foot, and a name tag looped around its big toe. It's him. As he carefully pulls back the sheet, you can't help but recoil at the sight of the mangled body. Even Cass sucks in a breath. Damn, That's brutal even from my standards. I didn't realize vampire bodies could pass so easily for human. You'd think that someone in this place would realize his body isn't human. This close to the ley line, there are only few noticeable differences between a dead human body and a dead vampire body. You'd only really notice if you knew what you were looking for. And you can be sure Lewin will do everything he can to keep those tells secret. These wounds, according to my mom's report, they are the same wounds inflicted on the human before this. Which means that whoever attacked those humans is after other vampires now too. She slams her fist into the door of a nearby mortuary rack, denting the metal. For your part, you take a nervous breath and try to think rationally. The question is, are they only after Clement vampires, or is this possible that it's tied to the mask that showed up in my room? Is it possible that there's a larger band of rebel Venedies getting bolder about undermining the Coven laws? There's no proof that a Venedi was behind this. A Venedi wouldn't kill another vampire, even a Clement. Are you sure? They seem to have tried to kill Gabe the last time I think about it. You really think about it, wasn't that far away. Oh yeah, what about the ones that came after me and tried to kill Gabe? They were an exception. Oh yeah. Look, I know these people, and after decades, they're my coven. I'll prove it wasn't them. This guy stomps off and starts looking through evidence bags. You turn towards Gabriel. Gabriel, what do you... But you realize that he hasn't been listening to a word of you and her argument. Instead, he's staring fixedly down at the body, a pained furrow on his brow. Gabriel? Sorry, what was the question? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. But his gaze drifts away from you, and he still sounds lost in his own thoughts. You need a hug. Wordlessly, he nods, and you pull him into your arms, gently stroking his back as he takes deep, shaky breaths. It's gonna be okay. We'll find out what happened. Yeah, we will. Max deserves that much. He doesn't sound altogether convinced, but he wraps his arms around you, letting you support his weight for a few moments. You can feel the moment he pulls himself back together, tensing a bit in your arms before gently disengaging from you. Thanks, Parker. I didn't know Max well, but he worked at a bakery downtown. Enjoyed passing as a human. He didn't deserve this. No one does. You find Gabriel's hand and give it a squeeze just as Cass calls out. Hey, Holmes and Watson, not to interrupt this heartwarming moment, but I think I found something. You and Gabe look over to find Cass holding up something small and golden, keeping it as far away from herself as possible. Another talisman. Where did you find that? Evidence bag. Knew digging around this stuff would turn up something worthwhile. She hands it carefully over to you, and Gabriel surveys it from your grasp. It's a sunstrike talisman. It absorbs the sun energy and then releases it in a burst that's lethal to vampires. If Max had this on him when he was attacked and it still didn't help him, then what the hell are we dealing with? Maybe whoever it was human. You know, since they weren't affected by the sunlight? A human doing this much damage to a vampire? Not likely. You've never heard of Helsing, then. That aside, the wounds on the body and her presence of vampire venom don't point towards this being done by a vampire. Well, unless you know a vampire that's completely sun-resistant, I'm out of ideas. Blade. Lil. Whatever it is, our enemy is strong. Like, freakishly strong. How does this keep getting worse? I'm so worried about the people of Crimson Beach. They think the deaths in the woods are animal attacks. At worst, a run-of-the-mill human serial killer. Definitely not vampires. Or worse. They have no idea that what they're up against. They're completely defenseless. Gabriel leans forward and places his hands on your shoulders, getting you to focus on him. They're not defenseless. This is my town, too. I have friends here. We're gonna watch out for them and keep them safe. Cass remains conspicuously silent until Gabriel elbows her hard. Oh, yeah, sure. We'll protect the humans, I guess. Cass studies your face for a moment, then gestures towards your wrist. If you're that worried, you should keep the talisman. Add it to your charm bracelet of doom. Cass is right. Something like that would be bound to come in handy. I'd feel a lot more better if you had it on you. You clip the Sunstrike talisman to an open spot on your bracelet, feeling a surge of confidence as it hangs from your wrist. Now I know I have a strong defense against whoever left the owl mask on my bed. Right. So, that's mission accomplished, right? We can get out of here now? As you move to leave, Gabe pulls the sheet back over the body, his features hardening in resolve. We'll find out who did this to you, Max, I promise. As you, Cass, and Gabriel on your way out of the hospital, you feel a sudden hand on your wrist. Parker, trouble at 2 o'clock. You follow his gaze, and your stomach drops at the sight of your mom at the other end of the hallway, talking with a coworker. Oh, crap. Her eyes start to drift your way. Act natural. You grab Gabriel and Cass by the elbow, steering them to face the hospital directory on the nearby wall. Your heart pounds, and then you glance back at your mom. She's looking away with her coworker, both of them laughing at something they're talking about. She didn't notice me. So glad I picked out this outfit. Yeah, just ignore the hair, and the height, and the figure, and yeah, no. Once you're far enough away from the hospital, your thoughts return to what Cass told you about vampire venom. There's something I don't get. Cass, you said vampires have to decide to inject venom, so why would it be in the wounds of a dead Clement? It doesn't make any sense. There's no point injecting a vampire with venom, is there? I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't. Honestly, I'm stumped too. The three of you fall quiet once more, each lost in your own thoughts. Tentatively, you speak up in a lingering silence. Have either of you ever turned anybody? Yep. You wait for her to elaborate, but that's all she gives you. Her expression remains unbothered. Okay, Gabriel? I'd rather not talk about it. Here we go again with the angst. Look, it's just part of being a vampire. There's nothing to be so disgusted about. It's pretty cool, actually. Cass don't. But Cass ignores its glared warning, turning to you with a smirk. The entire coven's involved in each turning. It symbolizes a new vampire to be being welcomed by all their new coven mates. All the vampires are involved? Cass hooks her arm around your waist, bringing her lips to your neck. You shiver as she runs her mouth up your ear. Think of it as a rebirth by 1,000 bites. That sounds like a pretty important ritual. Probably the biggest one we have, and the most important moment in the human's soon-to-be immortal life. You see, the whole thing kicks off when... Cass, stop! The forcefulness in his voice makes you whirl around in surprise. He's glaring at Cass, who glares right back. Oh, great! What is it this time, your golden highness? You can't just go telling Parker these kinds of things. The covens already have it out for her, and you're putting her in more danger. It's a shame that that bracelet of yours doesn't come with a BS detector. No, girl, because that's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. Goody Goody here just doesn't want you thinking too deep into the fact that he turned a human. Enough. Oh, come on. It's not like you're skulking through the night, turning people willy-nilly like a modern-day Dracula. The tendons in his neck tighten as he grinds his teeth, and the more frustrated he looks, the more Cass smirks grows. Guys, can we not? I'll drop it when he admits it. Like it or not, he's been part of the process, and pretending he hasn't isn't helping anybody. Yes, I've done it, okay? I turned someone, but it's not like I want to. His words ring out in the silence that follows. Taking a sharp breath, he storms ahead, the set of his shoulders tense. There. That wasn't so hard, was it? It's fine to admit that you're down in the depths with the rest of us bloodsuckers. He whirls on her fists clench, eyes ablaze with fury. You jump between them. Enough. Cassie, you've gone too far. What's your problem? You're seriously not helping matters right now. I'm trying to get Golden Boy to face the facts of his existence. Have you considered that this isn't the time for that? Looking around, you realize you've caught the attention of some of the others, town early risers out of the morning runs, and grab both Gabe and Cass. Come on, we're not doing this here. They you drag them to a quiet pathway in a nearby park. There, you let them go and whirl on them both. getting into a big superpowered brawl in the center of town isn't going to help our situation. Cass, stop baiting Gabriel. Gabriel, stop letting her. Now, can we put the pettiness aside and focus on the real issues, please? Cass scoffs and stalks to a far bench while Gabe throws himself into a bench nearby. Or not. Children. This is what it's like raising children. You start racking your mind for a way to remedy the situation when Gabe starts speaking softly. There was a turning ritual not long after I've been made into a vampire, and He swallows with difficulty as though sickened by what he's remembering. I bit them. I injected the venom. I turned a human. Gabriel. You join him on the bench and wait for him to find the words. When he does, his voice is tight with self-loathing. When I think about the fact that I'm partially responsible for another vampire walking around this earth, for the pain I caused before they turned, his hand tightens into fists over his knees and you let out a long breath. It's hard for you to have this on your conscience, I can tell, but you can't let yourself feel guilty about it forever. I mean, it's obviously an important ritual to the Coven, so it's not like you had a choice to not participate, but also, you take one of his hands, loosening his fists so that you can lace your fingers with his. Some of what Cass said is right. This is who you are now, and it hurts me to see you hating yourself because of something that can't be undone. He looks at you like he can hardly believe the words coming out of your mouth. You aren't horrified? Horrified? Gabriel, you know... I find vampires fascinating, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know, and I should be more scared. And at times, I am pretty terrified. But I can't help it. When a whole new world opens up before you, who can? I just want to know all that I can. You just learned about a painful ritual where humans are pumped full of vampire venom, and a ritual that I participated in. And more than anything else, you're curious. His tone is full of wonder, disbelief, and hope. As you lock eyes with him, you realize you're getting through to him. I want to know more about what it means for you to be a vampire. I don't want you to bottle up and make yourself sick with shame. I want you to let me in. The two of you lean towards each other, caught up in the moment. You wanting to shoulder some of his burden, him struggling to believe you. I do want to let you in more than anything, He looks down at your laced hands, his thumb brushing over your knuckles. I don't want to do anything that could get you hurt. It hurts me more to watch you lock yourself away. You see him ponder that for several moments, before nodding as though coming to a decision. I think if I could tell you at that part of my life, I'd be able to let go some of the horror. I would finally be free from that. And I'm all for breaking Coven rules. I'm an open book, babe. You look to see Cass as silently ambled over to lean against a nearby tree. When you catch her eye, she grins. I'll tell you all the secrets you could possibly want to know. Head to a private location to get the full description of the turning ritual, and a little carried away as the three of you act out the most forbidden parts. I'm sorry, what? Is this about to be like Bloodbound 2.0? If you remember that part, let me know, but is this about to be that? Yeah, I think it's about to be that. Oh well, here we go. Cass looks delighted, but Gabriel's expression remains apprehensive. Alright, but I think we should talk about this nowhere other humans could pass by. I know the perfect spot. Cass leads the two of you down the side street after side street, each quieter than the last before she guides you into an old, abandoned church. Ah, the irony is not lost on me by this. The moon slants through the stained glass, leaving pools of silver on the floor, and the cobwebs cling to the pews, stands out in the light. Wow, this is exactly the kind of place you'd expect to learn about secret vampire rituals. Glad you approve. Looking smug, she hooks an arm around your waist and guides you towards the pew where a giant pipe organ towers over you. As she shoulders past Gabe, Gabe gives her a dangerous look. What are you doing? Telling Barker about the parts you're too squeamish to. Relax. A little bit further, she stops, turning towards you, hands brushing your waist as she leans in to purr into your ear. So, what do you want to know about first? A shiver skitters through you as you meet her eyes. You feel a thrill of anticipation building in your chest. I want to hear more about the biting. Oh, why am I not at all surprised? Eyes alight in amusement. Cass takes your hand and flips it over, bringing your wrist up to her lips. Opening her mouth, and she scrapes her teeth ever so slightly against her skin. Oh. Like I was saying, everybody gets involved in the party. Each vampire in the coven bites the human once and injects a little of their venom. Little being the key word here. Too much and the human will die. You shudder a little at the thought as she drops your hand with a smirk. Usually the first bite is done by someone close to the human, a friend, or more than a friend. Where do they bite? Mostly neck and arms. She ghosts her fingers against your neck, trailing them down your arm, lowering her voice. She looks at you with an intensity that makes you swallow hard. Though, if the human has preferences, they go ahead and say so. Without even realizing it, you find yourself touching your... I want to be bitten on my wrist. Seems like the atypical place. It's very sensitive, but not as sensitive as the neck. And then there's the thigh. We'll go with neck, though. She lifts her eyebrows in amusement. That classic, huh? I figured it was for a reason. In response, she reaches out and ghosts her fingers against your neck, trailing the thumb over the place you can feel your pulse thumping. It is thanks to your carotid artery right here. She leans in, her teeth poised to pierce the skin. The first bite changes everything. You feel hot. Every inch of you starts to tingle. For the first time, you know what it feels like to truly be alive. Does it hurt? It's agony. You jump as Gabriel's voice comes right behind you. A warm hand slips into yours, and you, with a tug, Gabriel wordlessly leads you away from Cass over to a quiet corner of the church. Only the first bite is euphoric. Every bite after that is pure pain. He reaches out and touches your cheek softly, a pained look in his eyes. You stand transfixed, holding your breath as he releases more of his grief. I hate that the humans have to get bit so many times. His thumb brushes your cheekbone before sliding down your neck, stopping at the vein. He strokes the spot gently, reverberantly, feeling your heartbeat beneath the skin. One good bite should inject enough venom to complete the process, but they get bitten over and over again. Are you remembering your own turning? No, that's not it. I just don't like causing pain to the humans. I have to be involved in turning. He shivers, caught up in a memory. His gaze follows his own hand as he tenderly traces his way down your arm. It was in the center of the nexus every member of the Clement and Benedict coven stand around watching and waiting their turn. Eventually it was mine. It felt like I was marching on my own execution. To see the fear in their eyes, to hear the cries of the pain, knowing that you're the cause, I thought I was going to be sick. Suddenly stops, jerking his hand away from you, leaving you painfully aware of the lack of his touch. They begged me not to bite. What? The person we were turning begged me not to bite, to put a stop to their pain. But I had to do it. Every vampire in the Nexus was watching. If I didn't, we'd both face consequences. I'd never felt more like a monster. Gabriel, no, I know you. At your core, you're kind and gentle. Proving your point, you take his hand in your own. Lace your fingers. You lace your fingers with his and lift them up to eye level, as if to physically show him your point. Come on. Would a monster be so tender? He smiles softly, leaning forward and pressing soft kisses onto your fingertips. It feels like the only time I remember I'm not is when you remind me. You wouldn't cause someone more pain than you could help. I'm certain of it. It doesn't matter how careful I try to be. That much venom from that many bites, the pool of pain is all-encompassing. But that part's important. Oh. You jump, realizing the Cass is right behind you. You try to slow your racing heartbeat, but at the glance back and forth between her and Gabriel, vividly aware of them on either side of you, it only speeds up. They watch your every move, waiting to see who you'll step closer to, brush up against, the competitive energy crackling between them. The pain's what seals the bond between us all. Before, it was just a story and Lewin carrying out turning. But now that the entire coven's involved, it's like... Her voice becomes quiet. It's like becoming part of a family. The statement hangs for a moment before Cass shakes her head. The Venedi. I mean, we watch out for each other. More than most biological families would. But most families have some undesirable in-laws, and with the Crimson Beach's double coven, that's got us stuck with a buzzkill group of do-gooders. So, wait, does that make you and Gabriel coven mates by extension? I wouldn't phrase it that way, but that pretty much is the case. We're not coven mates, but we do share a lot of more than just separate covens out there. To my utter and complete disappointment, of course. But what about the transition? How does that work? That part's quick, mercifully. It's only a matter of minutes after the final bite and the person is a vampire. After that, they're given some fresh blood to stabilize them. It was the best thing I'd ever tasted. You look to Gabriel for confirmation and realize that with a start that silver eyes stare back at you. After some hesitation, he reluctantly nods. It was delicious. All this talk of blood and biting must have awakened Gabriel's vampire drive as well as Cass's. The glowing silver eyes seem even brighter in the dimly lit church, and a thrill of danger shoots through you as they watch you. But I trust them not to hurt me. Your curiosity wins out your nerves as your eyes keep dropping to their fangs, so you gesture towards them. Can I get a closer look? Okay, I'll go with Gabriel. I know I've picked a couple times with Gabriel this time, but we like, for whatever reason, the scales are leaning more towards Cass. I'm trying to keep a balance here, and also Gabriel, we're trying to show we're okay with this side of him too, so, you know, if you really want to. You step closer to him, heart racing as he opens his mouth, enough for you to run your finger along one of his fangs. It's sharp, sharper than you imagined, and you have no doubt that he wanted to. He could tear your throat out right there, but you're not afraid. This is Gabriel, the kind, funny, romantic guy he's always been. Suddenly, he wraps an arm around your wrist, drawing you closer, making your breath catch. Feeling the pressure of his arm around you, the warmth of his skin against yours, the tickle of his breath on your face. All you're aware of is him. Parker. You forget where you are, forget that anyone but you and him as silver eyes bore into yours. I'll kiss him, force myself back. You lean in slowly and kiss Gabriel deeply. Throwing your arms around his neck, he cups the back of your head and pulls you ever closer, as though any space between you would be too much for him to bear. After several long moments, you pull back, taking in the sight of him in this state. Eyes glowing silver, fangs visible. You know he hates himself like this, but you can't help but be a little bit in awe. Gabriel. You lean in and place a gentle kiss on the space between his eyebrows, and then another onto his lips. He pulls you back in, kissing you deeper and deeper. Parker. You've lost all sense of where you are, how long you've been there, nearly who you are, when you're jolted back into the moment by a loud voice. Hey, unwilling audience here. Jumping apart, you look over at Cass. Even though her disgust, you think you notice something more vulnerable in her anger, a glimmer of hurt in her eyes. She tensely crosses her arms, refusing to meet your eyes. Can we just get going already, or what? I'm over this place. Like coming out of a trance, you take a step back, shaking your head and realizing just where you are. Yeah, you're right, we should. But a thought strikes you, rendering you motionless. Parker, are you okay? You said that before it was Astory and Lewin carrying out the turnings, and now all the vampires take part. As in... Oh no. we don't really have to go there. As in all the vampires from both covens are involved? Cass lets out a sigh, her voice coming out flat. Yep, one big happy family event. So which one of you turned the other? Gabriel goes rigid with surprise, while Cass just looks annoyed. Their eyes meet for the briefest moment before they both look away. You study their faces, trying to suss out the answer, but neither gives anything away. Alright, don't tell me then. But if I were to be turned, I'd want you both to bite me. Both their heads whip around and gape at you before looking at each other in disgust, and more than several hints of jealousy. For the record, Golden Boy, I don't share. For the record, Cass, you don't get to call dibs on a person you've obviously not first on Parker's list. Your face flushes at the thought of them both sinking their fangs into your neck at the same time, holding you possessively between them. We should get going. Is your cheeks the only thing that's flush? Yes! But as you head towards the church doors, you cast one final glance over your shoulder, reliving all that you just learned. Thanks for everything you guys showed me. It was fun. Before either of them can respond, you hurry out of the church, running through you the forbidden new information you now possess. A few days later, you come downstairs for breakfast and find your mom already in the kitchen, hunched over the counter. You can tell by the tense and set in her shoulders that she's upset, not to mention the way she's aggressively stirring her cereal and knowingly splashing milk over the side of her bowl. Good morning, Mom? Oh, I don't know about good. What's the matter? Oh, nothing! Just the crime lab not taking several unsolved murders seriously enough. Oh no. All that work we did falsifying the toxicology report doesn't even seem to have her deterred her at all. Mom, just how much have you been nosing into the murders? I've got a better question. Why have you been nosing into my interest in them? Mom, I'm just concerned about you. Concerned about what? I'm just doing my job. It seems like you're going way above and beyond, and not in a good way. I just have a bad feeling about the whole thing, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. All I want is to keep you from getting obsessed for your own good. She stares you down. It's all you can do not to shift your gaze to the floor in shame. Is it right? Well, I think you're hiding something from me. Parker, I know you got home late again a couple nights ago. Snuck upstairs again. Well, at least she doesn't know about the hospital. It's like I don't even know who you are these days. You never used to be so secretive before we moved here. Mom, I'm all but certain your recent attitude adjustment has got to do with those two teens you've been hanging out with. That Gabriel and Cass, they're bad influences. You can't be serious. Gabriel and Cass, watch out for me. They know this town better than anyone. They won't let anything bad happen to me. If they didn't put you in harm's way in the first place, they wouldn't need to protect you from anything. Those two keep you out late, take you into the woods, despite knowing that the murders have been coming closer and closer. I thought you trusted me. Why are you being so overprotective all of a sudden? You're even the one who told me to come out of my shell and have fun this year. I know fun, I'm all for fun. No, you don't. But this... You don't even look like you're having fun these days. You look scared. She reaches out and places her hand on yours. When she speaks, her voice is soft. You're my daughter, Parker. I can tell when something is wrong. You feel conflicted, touched by her concern, alarmed by her perceptiveness. The old you would confide in her, but you know that doing so now would only doom her. I hate that I have to do this, but I have to keep her safe. You school your expressions into a scowl and roll your eyes. That's ridiculous. You're just taking out your frustration from work on me and my friends. That's enough, Parker. I'm the parent here. Since when? Oh, no. As soon as it's out of your mouth, you wish you could take it back. Mom, I did... She holds up a hand, and your words fade out. Her face goes through a wave of emotion. Shock, hurt, anger, before setting into a steely calm. You're about to be grounded for the rest of your existence. Since now you're grounded, I called it. What? Mom? And not only that, you are not to see Gabriel and Cass again. Yeah, like that'll happen. We go to school together. Without further ado, sorry it took me a little bit longer than normal. You guys know I'm pretty good on getting these things out on Wednesdays, but like I said in yesterday's chapter, I just was not feeling at all good. I felt super tired, and even today, it's midday and I'm super tired. Hey, any vampires out there want to turn me? I'm serious. So I could at least feel like how I used to and not feel blah. That'd be great. Thanks. Alright, so without further ado, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description below, links to social media, Discord if you like to support me and my content. Without further ado, love your beautiful faces. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Who do you think? What do you thunk? Okay. I mean, they keep throwing curveballs. I gotta say, it's pretty good at keeping the mystery there and everything. Pretty good at that. But, you know, seeing a couple plot holes. I'll keep it to myself for now. But, yeah, no, I can see where this is going. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you guys might be as perceptive as me and kind of know. But otherwise, love your beautiful faces. Catch y'all later. Peace out.